So I did a thing. Welcome to the Sewing Report. I'm Jen. I upload weekly videos about sewing, crafts, and DIY projects. And to celebrate 50,000 subscribers, I wanted to do something a little bit special. So I kept getting all these Facebook ads for this photography service called Shoott, with 2 T's. So this video is going to be sharing my experiences with booking a photo shoot, what it was like, and also a bit of a review on this service and how I feel that something like this could benefit us here in the sewing community. So what is Shoott? It bills itself as high quality photos without the high prices. You can book the best photographers in your city. It's in quite a few cities across the United States, including where I live here in Tampa, so I thought I would give it a try. And how it works is they set up these like day-long sessions in various locations, and then they book lots of 30-minute mini shoots within that time period with various photographers. So you don't have to pay anything up front, but you do have to provide credit card information in case of a no-show or an extremely late cancellation. There is a penalty for that, and I can understand that because they do want to protect their photographers from getting hosed. Totally makes sense. So you book the photo shoot, you show up at the location, and then you have 30 minutes with a photographer. And then you do whatever you want during the photo shoot, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Then after the photo shoot is over, a few days later, in my case it was about 5 business days, you get a photo gallery, and then at that point you can choose to purchase photos. You don't have to purchase any if you don't like any of them, and there's no money up front. So technically it could cost you nothing out of pocket if you do the photo shoot and then you end up not wanting to buy any of the photos. The photos are $15 each, but then things get cheaper the more you buy. So if you get 10 photos, it's $120, and if you get the entire gallery, it's currently, as of 2020, $240. Now, this information is of course subject to change. In fact, when I purchased my gallery, it was $220. So even in the past couple weeks, the prices have been raised. There were 2 locations in my area. One was in like Safety Harbor. The other was in a very popular spot called Curtis Hickson Park in downtown Tampa. I decided to choose that spot because I'd been there before. Parking is pretty easy. Book it online. They typically seem to do it on 1 weekend day per week. 1 week it might be a Sunday, then the next week it might be a Saturday. The time frames seem to be, like business hours. I got the last session of the day, which was 6:30. Because I live in Florida, I kind of figured maybe it would be a little cooler at that point, and it was. I also was checking the weather pretty religiously. You can cancel without penalty, I think 48 hours before your session. So if you look and you see that the weather is going to be crappy or you have a change of plans, you can reschedule or you can cancel up to 48 hours with no penalty. So once you book the photo shoot, you get a confirmation email. They tell you more specifically where to meet the photographer. Very convenient to book. That's one thing I really liked, was how easy it was to do everything. And then a day before the shoot, I got a text from the photographer. I was going to be working with Sara, and she again was like, hey, make sure to meet up here. In fact, she kind of suggested a better location because she said, hey, send me the type of photos you like. So I created a Pinterest board with just some photography styles and editing styles that I kind of vibed with, and then I sent it to her. And I would highly recommend doing that if you are going to book a shoot photo session, because it really helps the photographer know what you want. And the more information you can give to the photographer before you shoot, I think the more successful it will be, and the happier a customer you'll be because you get the types of styles you want. I love colorful, kind of light and bright photographs. I'm really into the K-pop music video vibe, like very bold colors. So I made sure to communicate that with Sara before my photo shoot. They also encourage you to do like light clothing changes and bring props. I really wanted to do a sewing themed photo shoot, so I knew I was going to bring my sewing machine. I brought some sewing notions with me, and I also brought my 50 balloons because I wanted to take a few photos with them just to commemorate the 50K subscribers. Thank you guys, by the way. Then we did the photo shoot. I wore some colorful clothes, and then I also brought a couple things like accessories. I brought some sunglasses and then a jean jacket I could put on, and yes, it was super hot and I ended up getting attacked by mosquitoes. But that is a story for another time. And then I met up with Sara. Now you do get 30 full minutes. So if the session starts like 5 minutes later, you get the 30 minutes. And let me tell you, it goes by quick. In my head, I kind of thought out ahead all the kinds of photos I wanted. I made sure to tell Sara that, and I made sure to be like quick with things. When I was, taking off a shirt or putting on another shirt, putting on the jean jacket or the sunglasses, I kind of knew in order to get the most variety of photos, I needed to also be fast with the changes and be willing to be down for whatever she wanted to do. We worked really well together. Sara is a younger photographer. Now you don't really get to choose your photographer, and also each photographer has different styles, so the consistency across all of the shoot experiences are certainly going to be different. And of course, like many businesses, Shoott does have COVID-19 policies to help protect the photographers and you, the customer. I thought that was very forward thinking. I believe it is a woman-owned business as well, which I thought was cool. They're based in New York City. After the photo shoot, which was super fun, it took about a week to get the photo proofs back in a gallery. You're emailed the gallery, and at that point you can decide what you want to do as far as buying photos. The photographer does do some light editing, and again, each photographer has a different style, but because I'd communicated what kind of editing I liked, Sara was able to better work with me, and I really think that made a big difference. I was happy, I would say, with a lot of the photos. Some of them I felt like I was making some awkward facial expressions or something, but that's not the photographer's fault. That's definitely more on me. But there were quite a few photos that I absolutely loved, so I ended up purchasing the whole gallery of 110 photos. So in that 30 minutes, she got 110 shots that she felt were worthy of the gallery, and she edited. At the time it was $220. I believe now it's $240, but definitely check the website for the latest prices. And I ended up getting a substantial discount by buying all of the photos. So even if there are some that you're not crazy with, it probably makes a lot of sense to buy the whole gallery if you want a lot of the photos. So if you want just a couple, it's $15 each. Then if you want 10, it's $120. Really, they have different price points for everybody, and I thought that was really cool. As someone who normally works solo for videography and photography, I was super jazzed to finally have an actual photographer, and I told Sara I wanted to get a lot of shots that I'm not normally able to get by myself. So she really listened to that and tried to get a lot of really fun candids that it would be almost impossible for me to get with like a camera on a tripod like right now, which is why I'm somewhat limited creatively when I'm just working by myself. It was so nice to have an actual photographer telling me how to pose. I'm really bad at posing for pictures, and I got a lot of shots that I'm really, really happy with. Let's talk about the pros and cons of using Shoott. Quite obviously, this is a very affordable photography service. Photography can be so expensive, and I really loved that this gives options for people in different budgets, and you don't have to pay money up front. It's also super convenient. You can do everything from your phone or computer. It was super easy to book, very easy to purchase photos. You got the photos right away emailed to you. Different options for purchasing photos, and you don't even have to buy any if you don't like them, but just know that if you rebook, a $75 prepayment is required that will go towards purchases. And again, this is to protect the photographers because their time is valuable. And if they get a customer that cancels or doesn't end up buying photos, you kind of end up wasting their time. You don't have to pay any money up front, and you get to work with professional photographers. All of your photos include basic photo editing, but you do pay extra if you want more complicated edits. Let's get to the cons, and there really aren't that many. Limited locations and time frames. I mean, this makes sense. The service couldn't be the price it is if they had to go to your home or go to like an event you were having. You can request a custom photo shoot. They will do like a wedding, or they would do a company Christmas party, but the price is significantly more for those types of photo shoots, and it totally makes sense because the photographer has to travel there, and they also can't do other customers at that same location. The reason it's the price it is because the photographer can see so many clients on one day, and that's what kind of helps with that volume discount that they're giving you. I did notice beauty retouching for photos is pretty pricey. It's $20 to $40 per photo depending on how many you purchase. You can't choose specific photographers, so you don't know exactly what you'll get, and photographers do have different styles in shooting and editing. The photography sessions are short at 30 minutes, so you have to move quick and be organized to fit a lot of different poses in. While there are some downsides to using Shoott, I feel like they were very minor, and overall I loved my experience as a customer. I would totally do another Shoott photo session, and I really enjoyed working with Sara. By the way, her Instagram is linked below. I am currently following her. I was just super happy with my results, especially at the low price they charge. I mean, I paid $220 for 110 photos. That works out to $2 per photo. There's also an opportunity where you can tip the photographer if you feel I went above and beyond. I did tip Sara, and I just had a great time doing it. And I think if you are a sewist or a quilter, here's how I can see it working out for you to use Shoott. Sometimes you have a make that you really love, like if you're making a cool purse or an awesome quilt and you want to have some nice photos of you with the item or some clothes you made. I think setting up a Shoott photo session to photograph you with your makes is a really cool way to get some good photos for Instagram. You can also do like as many as you can fit into the 30 minutes. So say you wanted to wear a dress you made, bring a quilt you sewed, and also bring a bag you made. You can get professional photos of you with all of those items at a very minimal cost. So if you are a sewing blogger or a sewing vlogger and you love using Instagram and you want to have better pictures for that platform, or like here for like say a YouTube thumbnail, this is a good way where you can get a photographer to take pictures of you. Again, you can't choose the location, but you can choose which one within the city that works best for you. And you know, the park worked great. They had a lot of different backdrops going on. So we were able to get a lot of different types of photos. Oh yes, and all customers get a referral link. If you want to recommend the service to a friend or family member, they get 10% off any purchases they make, and you get one free photo for every successful shoot that you help them book. My own referral link is down in the description box. Anyways, that's my personal experience and review of Shoott photography service. Let me know below in the comments, is this something you might use? And if you're new here, consider subscribing to the Sewing Report for sewing crafts and DIY projects. I'm Jen. I'll see you guys next time.